Hello, gorgeous folks. It's Darice. Welcome to Moon Life Astro. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back if you are returning. And welcome to all the new folks. Thank you for checking us out. On this channel, we talk about astrology, planning, and productivity. And today, I want to get into the last week of our focus on the morning routine or the getting started routine. That's been our February focus. I like to pick a planning or productivity focus for each month to help people develop those skills or expand upon them if they already have them. And so for the last few weeks, we've been talking about having a getting started routine. I think of it that way because some people work nights, so you can do this even if you work nights. Although most of us tend to work during the day, during a 9 to 5 schedule, even if you're a solopreneur, a lot of people still like to keep a schedule around that same time frame, getting the day started, getting your shift started, whatever works for your energy, your rhythm. That's what I encourage people to do. And I want to talk a little bit more about how Mars going direct yesterday, February 23rd, can help you with this morning routine or getting started routine. Mars has been in retrograde since December 6th, and it went direct yesterday, February 23rd. So if you had a bit of a challenge sticking to a getting started routine, that might have been part of it. When Mars is in retrograde, it can be harder to get started, to get your energy going. Mars is our bravery, our ability to act. Sometimes Mars can lead to us being aggressive or overly assertive, but in its higher expression, it's about channeling or tapping into our bravery and our ability to initiate and to get things moving, to get things going. And so now that Mars is direct, hopefully you would have felt that energy shift, that lift of energy. Mars is still going to be in Cancer, where it's not in its strongest position until about mid-April. So we're now have entered what they call the post-shadow period of the retrograde. So there might still be some lingering things to work on in the Mars retrograde. And I might talk about that a little bit more in the upcoming video on Wednesday. But for today, I wanted to focus on the get started routine and how that may have been impacted by the Mars retrograde, and how now that it's going direct, hopefully we'll get some forward momentum going. And if that didn't make sense to you, hopefully as I continue on, it will make more sense. So the nice thing about Mars going direct is that you may have had a feeling of things being stalled. So now the momentum is going forward. The obstacles clear. Stalled projects can get a boost. And so that may have been the case with your getting started routine. Maybe it was hard for you to have a routine that felt consistent in terms of your getting started routine. So maybe now this is the perfect time to initiate that in a new way, to look at it from a new perspective, to take a bold action with it. Maybe there is something in your getting started routine that you wanted to incorporate. This could be a really good week to go ahead to tap into that forward momentum energy to make that happen. What's great about a getting started routine is it basically sets the tone for your whole day, your whole shift. It helps you get into the right mind frame, the mindset of being positive, and also just the impact I find of accomplishing something that I set my mind to accomplish. Like if I said the night before, I'm going to do my 15-minute chanting meditation, and then I do it that next morning. I already feel like I've started the day off with a win. I got something accomplished. And that meditation puts me in the right frame of mind. It helps me relax. It helps me calm down. It helps me also remember my connection to spirit, my connection to the divine, the creator, whatever you want to think about, or however you want to define that for yourself. The other thing I like about it too is if I do my stretching or my lymphatic exercises, that gets my energy going. It makes me feel more awake physically, and I feel ready to take on the big challenge. And so, Mars is really good for that too. So if you like to exercise first thing in the morning, you can definitely tap into Mars's energy for that way to get the body physically moving. It's also nice too, because it could be a good way to help us step out of our comfort zone and to take bold actions. On the times that I do take a walk, or in the past when I would go running in the morning. And I might start going back to that like once a week, once the weather warms up. That is kind of a nice thing to do on a Saturday morning. That's a way for me to step out of my own comfort zone. And for me, that would be a bold action. So, what are some bold ideas or actions that you could add to your own getting started routine? Feel free to drop those below in the comment, or even just say getting started in the comment if some of this is resonating for you. Another way to get the energy moving in the morning, too, could also be simple stretching or light yoga. And you could also take about 10 minutes of journaling, just to set your intentions for the day. Identify those top 3 priorities for the day. And then what's really great is if you could set aside 15 to 30 minutes to tackle like the most important task or the highest priority task that you have for that first part of the day. And if you can do it with your phone in airplane mode, for example, so that you're not distracted by notifications, that way you give yourself at least like 15 to 30 minutes of like focused time to accomplish like the highest or hardest priority to do. I like to do that in the morning. Sometimes I'll record like really early in the morning because it takes the most energy for me to do some of these recordings sometimes, and it's nice to just get that done like first thing as I start my day. And then I get so much energy and lift from doing this, from providing this service to people. I love knowing that I'm connecting to this amazing community, and I love some of the positive comments that I get back from people. And I really do appreciate folks who do that. And also, if you've not had a chance to like this video and you are receiving value, I would appreciate it if you would go ahead and hit that like button. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please take a moment to do so. That again also helps me get the message out to more people. And I just want to go over some practical tips for now harnessing Mars going direct. Set big goals. You can use this time to dream big and set some of those actionable, more ambitious goals. And then you can take the time to break them down into daily tasks. This is a great way to help you build some momentum. And again, taking that action early, like early in the day or as your first priority. When you can tackle something that feels like the most challenging or the most important thing in the day, it frees up so much mental energy and physical energy for the rest of the day. That has been my experience for sure. And again, embracing physical activity. I was just talking to someone about how even throughout the day, I will take dance breaks. So sometimes I will have my very first dance break, like at the end of my getting started routine, just 5-10 minutes to like get the energy flowing. And then I will set timers or alarms for like 2 or 3 other times during the day as a reminder to take that dance break. Especially when you work from home, it's so easy to get used to just like sitting in one spot. I find it very helpful just to have those reminders and to get my energy going. And Mars going direct this week is a great time to incorporate that sort of thing into your regular routine. And Mars also invites us to cultivate courage. What is something you have been considering that feels like a risk to you, or trying something new in your business? For me, I'm currently working on a new paid membership that I'm probably going to launch either this week or next week. And it's going to be just $9 a month on the school platform. And I want to dive deeper into showing people how to harness the productivity or the efficiency of the lunar cycle, working with the moon. And so I've been working on that in the background, and hopefully I'll be able to release that to you either this week or next week. That's the next big risk I'm taking, because I want to see if it resonates for people. And I hope it genuinely helps folks get to a new level of ease around planning and productivity. So more of that to come. And basically, I just want to go through a brief review of a potential getting started or morning routine, just to give you some ideas if you're still struggling with that, or maybe you want to mix and add a few suggestions to your current routine. This is just some ideas for you to play with. Wake up with intention. Just sit quietly for like 1 to 5 minutes and just reflect on what do you want to feel like by the end of the day? Like, what kind of feeling would you like to experience? Maybe it's peace, maybe it's gratitude, maybe it's a sense of relief of having accomplished like 2 or 3 major things during that day. One way to do this as well is to start with deep breathing or a simple short meditation to help ground yourself. And then you can move into the movement, engaging in those light exercises, yoga or stretching. And then after that, you can journal, map out the day if you haven't already done so. Maybe write down one goal that has to be broken out into maybe 2 or 3 smaller tasks. And then, if you have not already shut off the notifications or put the phone in airplane mode, you can go ahead and do that. And then set aside those 15 to 30 minutes to tackle the most important or the highest priority task. This is a really great way to use the momentum from Mars going direct to dive into that top priority with focus and determination. Basically, that was pretty much all I had for today. This is a short one. Just want to keep it brief and simple. This Wednesday, I'm going to be getting into the astrology for the upcoming week, and we're going into March, which is a pretty heavy hitter of a month. I'm going to be previewing the Venus retrograde, the Mercury retrograde. We also have eclipse season coming up, and I'm also going to have an entirely separate video on the major astrology of March because that's a lot to unpack, excuse me. And so I just want to give people a way to begin preparing for those retrogrades. And I actually love retrogrades. I know a lot of people don't like them because it does slow the energy and things can sometimes, we can experience bottlenecks in our energy and our projects, that sort of thing. And even when I have those things during retrogrades, I always find that I end up doing things in a different way that ends up serving me in my own highest good. And I usually learn really valuable lessons. Even this past Mars retrograde, it was actually an opportunity for me to figure out how to incorporate more rest and downtime into my regular schedule as I work on different projects. I like to work on a lot of different things. I like to jump from project to project. And I had to really find a way to focus and get things done, and also still give myself permission to relax and unwind, to do all of these things in a way that's easy on my nervous system. And especially with everything that's happening in the collective and how stressed out and anxious we are from all of those things, I use this past Mars retrograde as an opportunity to learn how to ride the waves of the anxiety that I was experiencing as a result of everything else that's happening in the world, and still find a way to come back to my own center, to get back to my life, and to focus on what's important to me. We have so many challenging things happening now in our world, and our country is changing, the world is changing. And in order for us to do that, we have to continue to develop this muscle of resiliency, how to bounce back, how to adjust to change. I feel like the astrology that's coming up for the rest of this year and in 2026 is really inviting us to learn how to do that, how to dance with uncertainty. And I think it's important to give ourselves permission to do that and to recognize that even if retrogrades are challenging for you, you can still move through them and you can come out stronger as a result of going through the challenges. So just want to put that out there. I think it's important to just recognize that the stage that we're in right now is we are going to have to learn how to move through transition, move through changes. And I think the March astrology in particular is going to invite us to do that. So I'll probably get into that more later this week, but just wanted to plant that seed and to recognize that even if you're having a challenging time emotionally, I invite you to do what you can to take care of yourself, get the support that you need, find a therapist and the emotional support that you need, find the ways to take care of yourself physically, in terms of exercise, meditation, staying hydrated. All of those things really do matter. And also, connect with people online and in person. Keep building and strengthening your relationships and your communities, because that too will help with managing the stress and anxiety that so many people are feeling right now. A getting started routine is one way to help manage that, to create a foundation of safety and support and stability. And one of my favorite affirmations that I use all the time is I am safe, stable, and secure. I got that from one of my favorite astrologers, Molly McCord, and I keep using it all the time. And I invite you to use it as well. I am safe, stable, and secure. So give yourself permission to do whatever you need to feel safe, stable, and secure. And with that, I think that's basically all I have. I like to remind people all the time, I really do believe we're born with the gifts and the skills that we need to move through whatever challenges that life presents to us, that we have the ability to become better versions of ourselves all the time. So take care of yourself. Like I said, do what you need to do to ride these waves of what's happening emotionally, and know that you have access to resources to help you move through those things, and that you have the ability to become stronger than you ever realized that you could be. And I am cheering you on. I am rooting for you. I support you. Love, peace, and joy. Easefully yours, Darice.